If Deku Had Creation, Part 1. Now, trying to change things up, and I'm going to be editing more parts of my video to make it seem more clean and better, as you guys can see with the new thumbnails. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's get right into it. So to start it off, Deku was always a happy-go-lucky child, and his mom made sure that he had a very kind personality and always wanted to help, just like her. So when the time came and he turned 4 years old, he really wanted to see what his quirk was. So on June 15th, Deku went over to his mom and asked if they could go to the quirk doctor. She, of course, says, "Yes, honey," and she will take him to the doctor after breakfast. Now, they eat breakfast, and then right after that, they go to the doctor. They do all of the tests as Deku is sitting right next to his mom, Inko, with his All Might action figure, playing with it. That's when the doctor comes out, and Deku's bouncing around, really happy, as he's like, "What's my quirk? What's my quirk? What's my quirk?" As the doctor says, "Settle down now. It appears you will be getting a quirk. We just can't calculate what the quirk will be." "I'm sorry, ma'am, we couldn't find out what the quirk will be, but your son will get a quirk. I'd say within about a week or two." So Deku jumps up and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna be like All Might!" As Inko and Izuku leave back to their house. Izuku asks his mom if they can go over to Bakugo's house so he can play. They go over to his house as Bakugo's like, "Hey Izuku, did you get your quirk yet?" As Izuku says, "No, but the doctor said I'm gonna get one soon. I hope I get one really cool like yours, Bakugo-chan." As Bakugo's like, "Yeah, that'd be cool, but your quirk won't be strong enough to beat me." Sticky's like, "Are you sure about that? I'm gonna become the #1 hero." "No, I will. Why don't we share it?" As they run off to their bedroom, or Bakugo's bedroom, to play with All Might action figure, villain action figures, and all that stuff, playing at Heroes vs. Villains. Now, after this, Deku started to feel a weird tingly thing in his hands. He's like, "Yo, what's this?" As Bakugo looks over and he's like, Whoa, Zuku, those are green explosions. You have a quirk just like mine." As Zuku, just like, "Yeah, we both have awesome quirks." As they both high-five, as Zuku runs down to Inko and says, Mommy, look at this cool quirk. It's just like Kachan's." As Inko's like, "Oh, that's great, honey. Why don't we go to the quirk doctor to see what they think about this?" As they get in the car and drive away. After this, once they arrive at the doctor says, "Welcome back. Let's do some quick tests and I'll find out what his quirk is." So, after the tests are done, the doctor walks back with a huge smile on his face and he's like, Izuku, you are going to be one great hero. Your quirk allows you to create other quirks that you like." As Izuku's just like, "Wait, really? That's so cool! I can't wait to tell Kachan." As the doctor's like, "Whoa, I'd suggest you stick with the one quirk you already have, because villains might try and hunt you down." As he says this, Izuku's just a little bit saddened by this, but he's like, "Meh, that doesn't really matter. I still get to be a really cool hero. Yeah!" As Inko takes Izuku back to their apartment to have Izuku's birthday party, which all his friends end up coming, giving him gifts, action figures, and all that cool stuff, as Izuku shows them his quirk. Now, right off the bat, Izuku has many friends, just like Bakugo. Bakugo gets a little jealous, but not too much, as he still thinks they're going to be the bestest heroes, since they have the same quirk, just in a different color. So, fast forward, just let's say, 5 years. Deku is now, I'd say, around 10 years old, and his strive to become a hero has only grown stronger. He's been training every single day, unlike Bakugo. As Bakugo trains his body somewhat, but Deku has been training non-stop ever since he got his quirk, as he's always wanted to be a hero, so he knew he had to train to get his body in shape in order to become one. So every time somebody would try and praise him for his quirk, he'd always say, well, you guys always have a good quirk too. While Bakugo, on the other hand, would always just take that to his ego and store it, saying that everybody thinks he's the best, making his ego expand, only making him get angrier when somebody tried to help him, saying he didn't need their help. So Deku is clearly stronger than Bakugo. Bakugo still doesn't think this, as they're sort of rivals, but they're also best friends. Now remember, Bakugo doesn't call Izuku Deku anymore. He calls him Izuku because Izuku is still strong. So he doesn't have the need to call him Deku, meaning that Uraraka will never call him Deku either. So Deku always wanted to find a better place to train, and I'd say when he's on July 15th, he was just walking around, 10-year-old walking around trying to find a place to train, like a gym. He sees a beach filled up with trash. He thinks to himself and says, that'd be a great place to train. Since nobody's there, maybe I'll also get to train my quirk. As Deku walks over and starts carrying trash up onto the side of the road near the dumpsters. Now I'd say probably halfway through the day, he's already a considerable amount done. I'd say it'd take him a week in the normal timeline to do what he did in that one day. And keep in mind, he's 10, and in the normal timeline, he's 14. So this 10-year-old Izuku could probably handle 20% of One For All. He's been training since the age of 4. So, time skip another 2 years, Deku just finished cleaning the beach. He's taken multiple breaks, but he's also been practicing his quirk. He has not found another quirk that he wants, as the only quirk he does have is Bakugo's quirk, and he feels like that's the only one he'll need. But at the UA entrance exam, he might find better quirks that he can use. So Deku continues training for another 3 years. That means he'd been training for 11 years. Think about that. 11 years of your life spent on training and studying, all to become a hero. That is exactly what Izuku did. He spent all that time training and studying so he could have the highest possible chance to get into UA. So, after that, it's the time for the UA entrance exam. Deku's obviously pretty hyped up, and he's not nervous at all. Remember, he's been training, so he's pretty confident in his abilities. He's not cocky, he's not arrogant. He still thinks that he has room to improve, unlike Bakugo, who was born with a powerful quirk and thinks that's all he needs. He doesn't need to train because he's already powerful enough, which he somewhat is, but he's not stronger than Deku. So, Deku walks in and sits down next to Bakugo as they just start talking about how one of them's going to beat the other and who's going to get first place. All of a sudden, they get interrupted by Present Mike saying, everybody say, hey! Only for there to be silence, as he's like, the silent type, I get it. As he starts explaining the rules of the entrance exam. Now, President Mike gets interrupted by a blue-haired boy who says, "Sir, there's been a mistake. On the UA pamphlet, it says there's 4 robots, not 3 like you mentioned. This is a mistake. That's very, very unprofessional of UA, and I'm very disappointed." As he then points at Izuku and Bakugo, who are talking, as he yells at them, "Hey, you two, you stop talking, other people are trying to listen." As Deku stands up before Bakugo can, it says, "Well, you're the one who interrupted President Mike and just started yelling at people, so I suggest you sit down and wait for him to finish his lecture." As Deku sits down with Bakugo just laughing next to him, he's like, "Geez, Izuku, I never thought you had it in you." Yeah, Bakugo," Izuku responds, as the blue-haired boy sits down as President Mike thanks Izuku and finishes up the lecture by saying that the 4th robot is a 0-pointer and that it's best just to, just avoid it. So everybody lines up and Izuku sees that this brown-haired girl is nervous. So he walks up to her but gets stopped by the same blue-haired girl and he says, "Are you trying to sabotage her? I suggest you leave if you think you're going to make other people fail." Deku turns around and he's like, "I was going to try and calm her down. Thanks to you, there's not enough time." As Izuku just walks right next to her and tries to tell her just to calm down, but ends up getting interrupted again by President Mike yelling, "Go!" As Izuku runs in, copying the blue-haired boy's quirk, he's like, "Engine cav. This thing will help my mobility. Good thing I recreated it." As he runs around using the engine calves with Bakugo's explosions, exploding robots left to right. Now, the blue-haired boy, or Ida, is honestly shocked that this kid legit just has these engines just like him running around. So he's like, could this possibly be my long-lost brother? I don't even know if I have one. Could my parents have even thrown one out? It'd be very disrespectful if so. As Ida runs in after President Mike yells at all of them, saying that heroes don't need a signal to go into a battle. Follow the green-haired kid. As they all jump in, just only to see the remains of thousands of robots destroyed, and to see a kid sleeping on top of a huge pile. Now all of them are shocked until a new wave of robots comes in, as they all start taking those robots down. Thankfully, there were more, so that they didn't have to retake the exam, thanks to Izuku. Now, I'd say 5 minutes after this, Izuku has around 500 points or so. As the ground starts to shake, as Izuku wakes up and he's like, who woke me up from my nap? As he looks around only to see a giant robot standing over him, and he's like, holy. As he sees the same brown-haired girl under rubble, as he starts running straight towards her, and he's like, "Don't worry, I'll save you." As he jumps up and says, "Don't hurt her, you stupid robot," as he sends the biggest explosion he can right at the robot with a glistening green explosion, making everybody turn around in awe at the sparkles of this massive explosion looking like a firework. As Izuku falls down, kind of using the explosions to soften his blow, he gets up and pushes the rubble off the girl as she starts throwing up rainbow vomit. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, my ankle's just twisted up." As he picks her up, as she starts blushing, he's like, "I'm gonna take you to Recovery Girl." As he runs over to Recovery Girl and drops her off. After this, Deku walks back home, telling his mom that he did well. Inko obviously hugs him and says, "Oh, I'm so proud of you, Izuku. You're going to be a great hero, just like All Might." Suzuki smiles and says, "Thanks, Mom," as he goes to bed, waiting for the letter from UA. Hope you guys did enjoy this video and the new thumbnail. So yeah, guys, bye.